Ready or not, here we come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly, infidels. You can't run away from these darts we got, oh baby. It's Big Stevie Cool, it's Hacker Hameen, it's the Friday Locker Room Ultra Declassified Kayfabe transmission recording here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman. Ultra early, no sleep, you're never going to get it. So who knows what we might say and have to answer to the man for later here on your Friday Locker Room. Yalla. Yeah, stand fast before the man in the kangaroo court that is the locker room, infidels. We're going to put somebody over a barrel today, I'm sure, before it's all said and done. But actually, the young boy took all the punishment, posted the pictures on his Instagram, and we'll see if there's any blowback from that, from the kendo stick beating that we're about to lay down on you, infidels. Good morning, Steve Areno.
Good morning. Well, I think you feel like you've been hit by a kendo stick in the front and the back right about now. So staying up till 6 a.m.?
Man. Yeah, well, no, I mean, I was in bed, but I didn't sleep at all. I just worked out till midnight watching AEW, a little past that, and then even then checking emails 1 a.m. and started at 7 a.m. and then just not sleeping, man, on that Vince McMahon plan, to be honest with you.
I was going to say you should have Target Tori get a GoFundMe for your vacation like she did for Kroger Andy.
Yeah, somebody's got to do something here, man. I think I'll probably be going hard, but until end of September. That's usually when we'll get away because that's our anniversary, the 26th. So maybe at that time, but I don't know. What are we, 10 days out from 43 years old?
Well, Hillary Clinton's going to ruin your her trial September 9th. It's going to ruin your entire vacation.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I go, well, I'd love to go to Jamaica, but guess what? Nobody's going to be flying anywhere after probably September 6th.
Do you you're going back to New York. So when you fly back from Jamaica as it stands right now, you have to self-quarantine for 14 days, which I still don't understand how you enforce that.
Bro, how do you enforce it? That's just for the Nancy Browns and shit to like, we came back and we can't go to Nana's for 2 weeks and use the pool if we're going to go. And they fucking come back and then they'll be in the grocery store the next day cunting off about how great their vacation was to stunt in front of the other stupid bird friends while they stand in front of the broccoli. And I just want to fucking get through them all. You big tank ass bitch, get out of the way.
And you got to tell Big Brother and the 1984 crowd, like, I self-quarantine every day. I'm fucking making podcasts like 16 to 18 hours. Do you think anybody's around me? I mean, both of us.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been self-quarantined before this happened.
Yeah, I'm a pro at self-quarantine right now, dude. Like, to go outside, really, to be honest with you, that's just the amount of work. It's sick, but the amount of work I've done is either to go to Dippin' Donuts to hook up with Dimitri to do something real quick or to take the dogs out for the walk. The rest of the time, I'm down in the missile silo constantly, dude. Just fuck. I mean, you guys know. You see the signal flare go up here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman or on Ben Hameen YouTube. Appreciate you. If you are just a Twitch subscriber, you can go subscribe to my YouTube. That just helps me get my numbers up. That would be awesome. Plus, there's decades or a decade and a half of my work on there from DCW, OVW, indies throughout the world, getting to do stuff with the Horsemen and a lot of the show's backlog. So if you want to see video and not just audio of the podcasts, my YouTube channel is a good place to go. And thanks to all the Russo brand subscribers I saw 148 new subscribers this month already, halfway through. So appreciate you if you're a Russo brand YouTube subscriber. Stevie and I have been working with some listeners and getting clips. I appreciate everybody sending us best of stuff and finding our own stuff to send over there, man. So all production all the time here at Hameen Media Group, Stevie Richards Fitness. And, we're just trying to push our own boundaries. I'm tired, but I don't feel burnout, man. Like, there's sometimes where I'm really weird, like, just fuck, like, I'm still right in the middle of it right now. I feel pretty good. And last night working out at midnight, felt really strong, man, to be honest with you. Like, okay, I can do this, even if it's just a shutdown to get your body rest and not true REM sleep,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, it's just probably add to my insanity because I'm still thinking about doing, here we go. I think I do this at least once a month, trying to figure out how I can do like even a 30-minute daily one-man show type thing. I wanted to do the football stuff because I can't even say I'm a huge football fan still with everything that's been going on in sports, and all the go woke, go broke bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you can't enjoy any, and sports. One of the thing I wanted to do, I'm trying to figure out how I would do it. That's the whole thing about starting. I know I can carry it. I know I can do it, but just to be consistent, because once we commit to that, we have to keep going. Can't shut it down.
Right.
The whole thing with doing it. One of the things I wanted to say was that I can't watch sports without fans. I can't watch wrestling without fans. It's bad enough with fans. I can't watch football without the crowd reaction, the environment, and all that. Doesn't mean I have to go there, and I can't see baseball or basketball or football with Weekend at Bernie's or Ben Franklin in the stands and these cardboard cutouts. And
dude.
It feels so dystopian and so like I'm being worked. That's what it feels like when I see that stuff. Does that make sense? It's giving
back your bread and circuses at only 20% to make you feel comfortable. Like, oh, I got something back of normalcy, even though it's not normal at all. You're fooling yourself into it, right? Like they've cut the cheese with rat poison now to like 20%, but you're like, it doesn't taste as good as it used to. And now you're eating something with poison in it and doing it willingly because you were addicted to the other.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what that would be, as far as just not just talking for 30 minutes about absolutely nothing. I mean, I enjoy doing stuff with my wife. She has our Career Junkie podcast now, doing very well. We're going to have our chiropractor on later today recording. So it's really good. And she's got to get over the fact she doesn't like to perform either. You know what I mean? As far as being on the microphone, having to host a show, but keep telling her she's got a good niche. And that's the hardest part to find in any content that you're trying to do. So I'll figure it out, or I'll just keep having this conversation with you once a month.
I mean, I'm not really doing it for the DJ show, but like, me being a hip hop dude, and it's terrible because I should have all that shit cleaned up. I probably have to put in about $200 to get to where I want, maybe $300, but like a new amp and some new monitors. But I have Linear Tech turntables, mixer set up, the 1s and 2s, a good vinyl collection, and now this. But just when I'm doing the watch along, having fun on Friday night at SmackDown, because it's so bad, unless it's something I have to listen to, like The Fiend or whatever for Plotline. I just put on the YouTube on the Roadcaster. I love it. And through my phone and just bump old school hip. I'm kind of switching up. I did old school hip hop the other night. It's weird to do this. I hate to show my real voice and sing sometimes because it kills everything.
You got a great voice, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time into it as a vocal major and all that, but like people don't get to see that old school side of me where I started. So if you know me as a wrestler and you hear me singing Canadian folk rock or fucking show tunes, it fucks, like I don't want to kill my heat, but my point is I've been doing the live shows and people like my buddies, Brendan Doherty, they were out partying and they just had it on in the hotel room in the background, all hip hop jams and like having funny shout outs and shit. And people just are having fun, and I take it down off of Twitch before it really gets flagged, but Twitch has just been muting them if I use music. So I'm not saying I'm doing it just for the bits. We appreciate all the bits and everybody tonight or this morning, Andres, and I see you guys with Jay Hal, Fudge 420 with the bits. Appreciate you. But dude, just partying on a Friday night and doing your DJ thing live on Twitch might be just a way to, break the ice and get things going along those lines. And then if you don't care about, it's staying up there, you can just delete it right after you're done so you don't get flagged and shit like that.
Well, yeah, here's my thing. Could that be the solution for the 80s Love Song show where I do that live? People cheer the bits to kind of keep the show going, or they don't, and I just do it as a passion project. Yeah. But that's what the thing is. The whole thing is this is and more about music and more about probably being pissed off about the greed and the licensing from the labels and stuff like that. Like, why can't I just pay even a flat rate per month to be able to play it through the Roadcaster with the audio clip? You have to go through Live 365 and their fucking dashboard from 1975, the old school Windows 311 kind of thing.
Bro.
Yeah, and it eats up a ton of resources. It's a technical side, but I always thought if I had to stream on Twitch, obviously I wouldn't do it on YouTube, even though I have more people on there. I wanted the exclusive to one little platform. So Twitch might be it, but it's just, I'm always scared about that when Twitch becomes YouTube, where it was kind of getting that way for us for a little bit, where they started to kind of crack down. People in the chat room, I mean, you're a Hami Media group. You know how much I love 80s love songs. And for me, it's also just like podcasting with you and doing anything where I'm talking, it helps my vocal cords. It's still physical therapy, even after all these years, for me to train my voice to hopefully get better. So I mean, I never thought of that. I thought when you did the watch alongs, you were taking a huge chance of getting your channel taken down. And I don't know if that'll happen with any music. Now I know just to close the point, there's like a 10-year rule or something where the labels, so that's why 80s love songs for me kind of falls into maybe a good gray area of like they're 40 years old, 40, 35, 30 years old. So
the hip hop I'm playing is 20, 25 years old too. So, I mean, I don't know. They're going to flag it regardless, but I just tear it down right afterwards. My main point is, dude, it really has been making me at the end of the week. I really, up into that, not that I don't enjoy doing everything with everybody, Horseman and all the everything you and I do, but Master Shoot Theater was like my only way to really let go of everything. And then the steam builds up, but now I get that to do that on Friday. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to lie. Like it takes me back because I used to DJ house parties at college because this is my system I bought back then, man. So it's got a lot of good memories on it. And I just like going back to that. It was a fun little outlet for me to do that and it seemed like everybody enjoyed it. So I think maybe just to break the ice, go for it, dude. Do it one night.
Yeah, I think I'll do it. I might even do it sometime during today and see how it goes. And I'll have to rename the channel from Stevie Richards Fitness because people are going like, what the hell is this? Streaming workouts. See, I wanted to stream workouts, but once again, will that cannibalize the programs and the affiliate code with Force USA? Maybe Force would be okay, but I'd have to produce it. Like, you know what it's like. But imagine having to use Switcher Studio to change the you got to place the cameras. You got to get the audio right. You got to bring in the Rodecaster Pro and you have to have wireless set up. Then you have to lighting. Then you have to set up the iOS device. Then you have to think, are the cameras hitting all points when I'm doing this particular? Right. Dude, working out is the last thing on your mind. And then like when I tried it once, I had like 3 viewers. I tried it the second time. I had 2 viewers. I'm like, let me just put it into this lifetime access on the programs. Let me start pushing the affiliate stuff. But that's how you learn. We try to tell Pop It On and even Sal to an extent and everybody here in the chat room, you got to fuck up. You got to fail. We wish we could tell people like that in the wrestling business. You got to take chances and take the chance to fail for a creative or even business progression. So there we go.
Dude, I'm watching the chat here and they're having, Andreessen was a huge supporter of what we're doing. And all you guys are, if you're here in the chat, obviously. But we do have this 5-star Star Search competition. They're talking about investments, cryptocurrency, investing in vaccines, and knowing the companies. I'm very interested in this. And I implore you to submit an investment show that could be, here's what I would like to see. Small investments with people who just have a little bit to throw in, not a little bit to a lot, but quick turnaround advice. Obviously, mutual funds are more long-term. Talk about the apps, like maybe we can even get a sponsorship from Acorns or something. Penny stock.
Robinhood's another one. There's a bunch of little ones. Yeah.
So, and start helping to build our community, to build wealth by using the knowledge of the high-level thinkers that are here and their expertise, because that's something I'm pretty green on. And it's a tough to trust anybody on, but if we have a catalog going forward of advice and we can clock it, I think we can really build something there. And who knows, maybe we even have a Hameen Media Investment Club where everybody puts in $50 into a side pot mutual fund or 100, and we go forward with that and see where we can grow that to, in a year's time. And then maybe everybody takes out from it or what have you, the percentage that they all put in. So that's something I really, really have been on the back burner about, because I don't have I haven't had the time to develop it, but to see you guys talking that way with crypto, with quick in and outs with the vaccines, they're going to flip the switch on weed, federally eventually, where we are going to be on the ground floor of that. AI and app programs as we go to war with China that we're going to have to redo ourselves. There's a lot of things that we could be looking at, or, you guys as professionals, that would be awesome. That would be an awesome show, I think, that I would actually listen to every week. So it's out there. It's out there in the atmosphere. Y'all.
I was going to say too that the vaccine part, I'm actually going to text my cousin. He told me that when we were doing my taxes and everything and going through all that stuff, he had told me about this vaccine, the vaccine and also the virus therapies and all this stuff that the government gave a ton of money. And it's like a mutual fund, but it's more of a conglomerate of the medical type thing. I don't know the exact term. I would just say mutual fund, just for the sake of you're grouping together a bunch of things that are all medical related, vaccine related, therapy related. And as much as the only thing that held me back from it, because he goes, this is going to be probably for the rest of your life. I mean, the new normal, all that bullshit. But Johnny's just coming up to me saying, hey, I'm just coming in, not from an ethical thing. I understand, because he's the same way. He's just like, the mask and the overreaction and all that stuff of people and things like that. But from a financial perspective, it is an excellent investment. And I just text him about it because it held me up after 9/11. Because I invested in a lot of data recovery stocks that had dividends and mutual funds that had to do with, construction and things like that. And they did pretty well. The one thing I wanted to invest in and was the stupidest thing not to do, because I believed in the product. Apple stock was probably around $9 right before the iPod came out, because the iPod event was after 9/11. I think it was later in September of 2001. And I was like, I want to throw probably at the time, because I was in WWE, 10 or 20 grand in the Apple at $9.67. And I'm not one to just sell it off just for the quick day trader type shit. Right. I would have stuck with them. They just split it again, I think 4 times. They split it 4 ways or something like that. And there are $1 trillion companies that at $9.67 at 20 grand worth of stock would have probably been worth, if I sold it 5 years ago, would have been like worth 4 or 5 million.
Jesus
right now it would have been like, yeah.
Well, as the world turns to spread like germs, dude, that's why we keep an eye on this type of shit. We are the underground in the news, and we hear a lot of things first, and we see trends and what's coming long before the Nancy Browns. I think we could capitalize on that. People are saying it'd be great in Discord. There is a Hameen Media Group Discord. I don't have the link right handy here, but Colin has set it up. We may be live in there right now because he put a bot in there that parrots or whatever, puts a window for the twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman. So if you're a Discord user, we're trying to get that built up. We just launched it this week. So it's a technology I'm not too familiar of all the benefits and how to capitalize on it yet. So looking for advice that way for successful strategies. Right now in the chat might not be the way to do it. You can always get at me at hackerhameen@gmail.com, because we're looking to keep it where the real heads are. And there's a plan. There's something that says, how do I join your Discord? I'm imagining you just go to open Discord and search Hameen Media Group. I don't have the link at hand. If somebody can do that, throw it in the chat. I would appreciate it, because I'm in the middle of hosting a show right now. So, but we're excited.
Let me ask you this question, because this is where I want people to understand that it's never, you don't have to ever feel dumb about asking a question if you don't know something. I have never, outside of hearing people do this or whatever, I have never even explored Discord. So if you can explain for me and people in the chat room, if you know, like, what exactly is I know what Discord is, but where exactly would it fit into a model like mine, and where does it fit with Hameen Media Group?
I think I can just explain quickly what I know, as it being a chat-based, for your own group, like a Facebook group would be, but more interactive, I guess, and kind of an ongoing Reddit of your own. So Colin split out all the shows on Hameen Media Group, so people can go in there, whatever their favorite show is. And if they want to post and talk Star Wars, they can. If they want to post and talk locker room AEW news for Light the Fuse, it's in there. if you have Discord open all day and you watch your shows through there, you can use it as a Twitch, or YouTube to embed in there. So it's interesting for how I guess it's like a subreddit. So for each one of those things. So if you're into that Reddit lifestyle and you like to view your media and interact that way, and there is a big community of that, I guess, in Discord, so appreciate to get into another pond, another lake. How many places can we drop lines into to bring people into the fold and grow exponentially? And I was pumped that he undertook that. And who knows what opportunities for somebody will happen out of there? Because in our weekly meetings, that's something we've been talking about is the Hameen Digital Street Team. And Discord's a good place to do that, to post our links, post our shows, and just get word out there about everything. So
nice. There's another one, Restream, that we looked at where you can stream to everything pretty much for like even $19 a month. You can stream to 30 plus social platforms at the same time. While custom extra destination, you have their built-in studio, which I think connects to Discord. So basically Restream would be a thing like Switcher Studio. If I was on Switcher and doing the thing, I could not only just do only YouTube, only Facebook, only LinkedIn, or only Twitch. I could stream to all of them with them being the hub for doing that. So that's an interesting thing. I think to some degree too, as attractive as that might sound, you start to get very fragmented. Like when Russo streams to Twitch and YouTube, his Twitch has been suffering. So we've been working on strategies to make more Twitch specific and Twitch designator or whatever exclusive content, and making YouTube more of the micro content. So basically we're thinking about the live stuff will be Twitch, the uploaded recorded stuff will be YouTube, so people don't get confused. So Full Moon Attitude may be a Twitch show moving forward, or even a Patreon. We've been looking at all that stuff.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep strategies as the landscape keeps moving and where you guys go and where the school of fish are. That's what we're going to do and try and get into as many, solid outlets as we possibly can to make sure the underground grows, stays stronger. So we appreciate all you guys doing what you can do to share these shows or just keep tuning in. Obviously, if you're here, thank you in the chat rooms and interacting with each other. It's always a good thing to see, man, to see community getting built. Last night we were trying to do some of that on the Conspiracy Horseman with having Angel from the Baldies, the Kingpin himself, ECW legend, on to talk about his show Wrestling with Tragedy. So it was a good time having the ECW legends all in the house last night. So I was fanboying a bit for it because it just takes me back, makes me feel younger to those times of that insane energy of what that really was to be a fan of ECW. Now here we are just having good locker room time, talking some shit and trying to help shine one of the guys who deserves it, man. So it was a fun time last night.
Yeah, Angel, if you listen to the end of it, how Angel and I met was really very inspiring a way when most of the wrestlers were going out to party and do their thing at 10 o'clock at night. Angel and I were the only two in the ratty little hotel gym, but getting one of the best workouts we got in.
You can't say rat anymore. You can't say rat.
Oh, well, no, you can't say Rizat. You can say rat though.
Oh, sorry.
Totally different. But Angel's one of those guys. He takes the ball and he runs with it, and he doesn't. I think Angel would actually be further along with it if he didn't have the hang up that he thought he was bothering us. Like I told him, reach out to us every day. Reach out to me every day. You wanted me to show you something and turn the camera around on my phone, show you my setup. Anything you need. He's got the most radio show like setup with the backdrop. Most of those radio shows like ours, yours too, but he has a step and repeat type green screen with the ECW logo. It's really cool. And you want to talk about a niche, Wrestling with Tragedy. They aren't even episodes. They're case numbers. They're different things. They are things that, like, even the boys being in the business were so indoctrinated and institutionalized. When you start bringing the stories up, it's like, oh, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's a certain danger to when they bring it up. And I like that. Like, hey, we're going to talk about the Bruiser Bedlam, blowing up the police station. And then there's that Pavlovian thing as one of the boys, like, oh my God, you're going to have heat with Bruiser Bedlam. He's going to, you know what I mean? He's going to come after you.
Tuttles was saying in the chat last night that he knew Bruiser Bedlam pretty well back in the day. So maybe that'd be a dude to definitely hook up with him, maybe get a couple stories out too. So good time last night though as well. And I could see Sal was really enjoying himself, dude. And that always makes me super happy too. So good times. Yeah, right there. Tuttle's in the house now. He says, I'm saying Tuttle's going to reach out to these guys, at Wrestling with Tragedy, dude. Let them know. I'm sure they're looking into it. They're trying to research now and maybe even have you on as a guest, dude. Let them know you're a big Hameen Media Group and Russo brand supporter. That's exactly why we had him on last night, because Angel's not anxious. He's eager to get his guys known and get the show going and get out there. And if you can help add to the content, he's going to be more than appreciative. And dude, you're in with the squad. Why not give yourself the shine and talk about your projects as well with all your video work, dude. Absolutely.
Very cool. We love to talk about positive things before we have to talk about all the ways things are done wrong in wrestling. But thank you again for the idea about the Twitch thing, because that is definitely more exciting to be able to load it on the Rodecaster Pro. Maybe even just have, for now, audio, or if there's some kind of watch along a thing that I want to do and I can play the music and do whatever, man. I just want to create more content. I never want to just rest on the laurels of what we're doing. And I want to just explore other things. I never want to get bored with anything.
I don't think there's any time for us to get bored at this point, buddy. We seem pretty interactive. Like any boredom, self-inflicted, seems like, oh, let me sit down for a minute. And then I look over and I still haven't repaired my 3D printers in a month, dude. And they're both just sitting here. Like, it would probably take me, it could take an hour and a half. It could take 7 hours. But even when I just have 2 hours, I look over, I'm like, fuck. Because then in my feed, I see everybody printing awesome things, and I'm just like, God damn it, because I don't have a normal life to like come home from a 9 to 5 and then do my hobby at night, just to fire it up. So, but we're gonna keep on keeping on, because I did have a new hobby. I hack attacked. I've been working on my hack skills. You guys might have seen some of it on my Twitter at @Ben_Hameen as I took over the 2CW Infidel Remembering 2CW Moron podcast with Chris the Lovins the other night. I'll be posting that on my YouTube later today, but it is on 2CW's Facebook, or you can go to 2CW version 2, where I hacked their Twitter as well, and get the link off of there. And they have a whole series, and they're having more of the 2CW, or they think they're having more of 2CW stars on. I might just hack those and shut it down as well. But a good time destroying their hopes and dreams podcast with Chris Lovins and Ben Hameen. So excellent time there. But I did a test run, Stevie. Before I've got to shut down their December show, I always want to make sure my tech is up and running. So the New Japan Summer Struggle night 11 was canceled moments before showtime because of me. The night 11 ongoing Summer Struggle tour has been officially canceled, infidels, according to New Japan Pro's website. I told you they'll never beat me. Nobody in Japan ever. Moments before the show, precautionary temperature check showed that one of the competitors had developed a fever. They immediately conducted an additional COVID-19 test on this person, but the results are still being processed. New Japan thought it best to cancel the show and provide refunds to the fans in attendance. They promised to provide updates on the situation whenever they possibly can. So it wasn't that hard. You just got to make one of the dudes eat cigarettes and it raises their temperature, and then everybody's scared of COVID.
It's a dangerous proposition to try to run, not even the shows because you want to shut them down like 2CW, but it's a dangerous proposition to try to run anything with the amount of just uncertainty and whatever regulations are going to just pop up, or if there's going to be a commission, or if there's going to be government, or if there's going to be some kind of forced vaccination or contact tracing or chip or whatever there might be. I'm just saying there's like day 155 of 15 days to flatten the curve. Yeah, there you have it. But why would New Japan runs a show, invests the money, brings the talent in, does whatever they need to do, and now they're operating at more of a loss, and they still have ticket people that they may have to just fully refund the money if they don't. Well, they offered refunds. I mean, but some people might keep their tickets. Now you have money that's held up, and you're not sure what you're going to do.
Yeah.
This could have been a great, because these guys are stars over there. They go to baseball games, they throw out the pitches, they're in cartoons, anime. This would have been an excellent opportunity for New Japan to elevate their stars in other categories of media. Like have a New Japan cartoon show and have them voice over so the guys are making some money. Whatever it might be.
That's what Trailer Park Boys did. They went full cartoon for the last 2.5 seasons.
They might have to keep doing that because they can't shoot on location.
I think they did shoot. I think they did go back and were able to shoot a little bit, but we'll see. But that's an easy way, and that's why Bill Burr did F is for Family that way, to be able to get away with a little bit more too. So
yeah, they were saying in the chat room about the hospital is cutting those furloughed, saying there's a spike. A lot of those nurses and people in the hospital had to sign an NDA, and now the NDA's up. They're getting laid off. So those are people that were under NDAs saying that it's overflowing, but now saying that they lost their jobs because no one's in the hospital.
Strange backstage talk on unhappiness in WWE over furloughs. There's said to be a lot of significant unhappiness, Stevie, within within WWE right now over the employees who were furloughed back in April as part of the company-wide business changes brought on by COVID-19. There were furloughed office people who were told that they would be brought back earlier this month, but the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that most have had their furloughs extended until Friday, August 28th, when the next false flag attack will take place. Friday, August 28th. There are several employees who are looking to find new jobs. WWE furloughed around 240 full-time non-wrestlers in mid-April as part of the company-wide business cuts brought on by COVID. The WWE producers and workers who help with live events pretty much knew they'd be out of work until the company resumes touring, but most of the employees are expected to be back at the start of July. Some of those workers have been brought back, but that's a small number. The basic argument is that the furloughs made sense in April due to the unforeseen prospects of the future amid the pandemic, because WWE deals could be in jeopardy if WWE missed a few weeks of TV, which didn't happen thanks to Florida Governor DeSantis allowing WWE and other sports leagues to continue as essential businesses during the corona pandemic. According to the Observer, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon was also terribly fearful, quote unquote, that the TV partners could cancel the TV deals if WWE didn't air shows live. However, most of the concern was gone by July, as Fox and NBC Universal were not opting out of their deals and they were not demanding live shows. The Observer noted that while the wrestlers were not figured into the large profits for the second quarter because they were still being paid through the mid-July due to their 90-day non-compete clause, their $51.6 million in savings did include the savings of money in the second quarter based on employee cuts. The argument is that by July, WWE knew they were setting profit records, and people are upset over the fact that the company extended the furloughs twice since then. The last extension for another month was reportedly just 7 days before the Q2 earnings call on July 30th. With the current return date being Friday, August 28th, that means the employees would actually return to work in September. However, the Observer adds that nobody knows how many employees will be back and if or extended for another month. There's also some concern that there may be a feeling that WWE just set profit records with lower cost and that maybe they don't need all those employees after all.
How many people do they really use on the show? We always talk about multiple segments with the Mexicans, multiple segments from SmackDown last week. How many do you really need?
I don't know at this point, dude. But with all the extras, I can't believe they're probably just paying them $250 to run up and throw a cinder block. I mean, he saved all that $40 million sending those people home, and now they've been drawing unemployment or whatever, right? Can you draw unemployment when you're furloughed? Because you're not really unemployed. I mean, you're not really fired. You're just laid off. I don't know.
I think if you're laid off, you can get unemployment. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody would be in a really bad spot right now.
Well, I mean, in Connecticut, if they live in New York or right outside of Connecticut, I don't think the 400 something plus another 600 on top is even going to scratch what their, monthly is compared.
Well, if you don't live outside your means, which people in Connecticut and New York are known to live outside their means, But he made 150 million. Didn't his value go up 150 million after the layoffs?
Yes.
And he saved $4 million in salaries after giving 18.5 million to the state to keep running. So basically he bribed the super PAC, right? Wasn't it the Republican super PAC? He gave $18.5 million to, and all of a sudden they were an essential business. So smart, but
couldn't have done the math to like, maybe we can stay open and I'll use that 18.5 million to keep my people,
well, we talked about it sacrificing 4 million for the best PR that you could have to say we are going to take care of our people and we're going to lose a little bit of money, but we're going to keep I'd said it before, you'd have a bunch of people that would run through a wall for you then. And when someone's bitching backstage, the locker room will police itself. So you won't have people miserable because someone's going to turn on and say, don't talk shit about Vince. I'm still here. I was going to get fired, but he decided to lose a little bit of money and keep me getting money to feed myself and my family.
Mm-hmm. But instead, we did the exact opposite.
Fuck them.
Fuck them, pal. Let's see. Where are we going to go here? Oof, that's bad, too. Watched AEW last night late, and legendary referee Mike Kayfabe makes his AEW Dynamite debut, not only in a big match, but also backstage with Jericho. Got a big promo, too, man. It was a big part of the show. Veteran referee Mike Chioda made his debut at AEW to ref the match of Cody Rhodes and Scorpio Sky for the finally, and this is kind of a botch, the new TNT title is there out of nowhere. He comes out with it, so Chioda is the longest tenured WWE referee, if you didn't know. First major pay-per-view was 1989. So it was, he looked good. He did a job. Here's the thing. This is a guy who's a big name, in wrestling, and referees, legendary, right? And he's going to come in probably at a bigger contract. And there's been heavy criticism of the incompetence or amateur level of refereeing in AEW, jumping around and her going in for business for herself, and the other dudes like just not seeing things being made a fool of in tag matches and things like that, right? So now here comes Chioda, and who's Cody going to want in his big matches? The girl jumping around selling for everything like she's Billy Kay Iconics, but meanwhile she's the ref. Or, you're going to have Chioda where he's a ghost in the match, but exactly where you need him to be every time without fail, dude. So here's another ex-WWE veteran talent coming into AEW, and if he's taking a match, that means somebody's losing a match.
Yeah, Chioda actually lives in the area, I believe. My buddy Harold, who lives in the Jacksonville area, and I remember him saying that Chioda moved from Jersey down to Florida, which probably was a smart move. He did it before all this coronavirus stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's an easy hire or an easy booking. I don't know if they signed him or if it's just a per night thing. No travel. He can go home. It's not like you got to put him up in a hotel. So, it's smart, and bring somebody with experience that maybe could be like the head referee or the agent for the referees to get them to get better. Because right now it seems to be the blind leading the blind, and have somebody with that experience. I hope they would listen, unlike the talent with JR to Chioda, because he knows what he's doing. Also, Chioda's on ring crew. He set up the ring. He set up all the stuff and everything. Maybe he's got a job doing that too, which would be, he could help those guys maybe tighten up their production stuff a little bit to set up and break down.
Yeah, he offers a wealth of knowledge and experience to be a guy who can run the locker room to make sure your crew guys or whatever are in line, but it's just going to be the slow creep in, dude. It's going to be, Hall and Nash showed up over there. Oh, here comes that. Oh, and then out go this ref and that ref. Out go the librarians. Out go the, and here comes Cardona and what. And that was kind of weird too. Like, he wasn't even on the show last night.
Yeah, you have to debut a guy, and then you take him off TV for a week, and then what? Was he on Dark? Because that would be even then, like you put the guy who just debuted, who's supposed to be a big name and Cody's friend, and you don't even tell the story. Once again, they assume that everybody already knows these guys are friends from Instagram from a year or two ago. Like we're supposed to know that. Dude, I watched the thing that was somebody sent it to me, was Orange Cassidy's funniest moments, which by the way was not that funny to me. Watching him like try to reach for the ladder and then step on top of the flat ladder, reach up and do all these other things. JR was fucking burying him. Doesn't even know how to use a ladder. Can't even use a ladder. Oh, he's too lazy to put. Well, he's lazy. Yeah, he's too lazy to pick up. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Like JR is pounded, like just exposing him for being like, this is stupid. Have you heard those things? I'm sure you have.
I've heard plenty of that. And now Taz and JR have like a weird little side heater thing going where sometimes they're buddies, but then sometimes there's digs in there that like go way back that you can tell are not, just some friendly banter in there, man. It's
you mean like going back to when JR signed Taz and all that stuff and everything?
It's like that, but like Taz will want to take the lead and JR will like let him bury himself and then Taz will fuck it up and JR will kick him and go to the next fucking segment and get out. It's some real like, fuck this job. Let's just have a little fun. But at the same time, it's like, you ain't gonna big league me still. You know what I mean? A lot of that shit's in there. Like this last show, especially, there was a lot of fun little digs in there that popped me more than anything just between them. Didn't have shit to do with the fucking show. So we got to have a JR and Taz match here soon. JR is the best part of the show, though. I agree, Fudge. Yeah, man. MVP believes Samoa Joe will be back in the ring soon. From what he understands, says, quote, what I understand, old Samoa Joe is going to be back in action. And over the years, Samoa Joe and I have been great friends. We never, ever face each other at this stage of my career. I think I feel a lot more confident facing him, knowing that I am Bobby and Shelton got Bobby and Shelton back me up. But I know that wouldn't faze Joe in the least. I don't know. Did Joe look like he was in ring shape to you this week?
No. And the fact that they cut his nuts off where they could have a great angle to put him back in the ring, instead his commentary job means too much to him.
Yeah. Like just sit there and let the kid get beat. Like, I'm down with Dominic, but except for my job. So fuck Dominic. Just go kill him if you need to. Like, what if they pulled out a gun and fucking shot him? He's just gonna sit there. Oh, okay. Yeah,
well, what they're gonna do further is 2 weeks from now, he will help Dominic and get fired from his job. But we already saw that he pushed out once, and right. They expect people to forget that. I mean, talent even forgets it. I'd be reminding them every week, like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe that's why, a lot of them are there and other people have other people just go. How can you, Moxley, other people, how can you survive in that environment? The Moxley was interesting. I saw a thing where he was quoted as saying that he would rather work at McDonald's to be an agent in WWE. He would rather tar driveways in the summertime than do that job. And I believe him. I mean, it's not hyperbole. At least you feel like you accomplished something at the end of the day, putting fries in the container or tarring the driveway.
Who said that? I forgot it was.
Moxley.
Moxley, yeah.
Yeah, Moxley.
And being an agent. Dude, yeah, dude. Brutal.
Hey, Big Show, I'd rather put my head through a car door or something, or slam a door on my head.
Or you can be an agent and have to fight Nia Jax.
Japanese.
There you
go. Bret Hart talks Triple H and Shawn Michaels bullying The Rock backstage in the 90s. Bret Hart weighed in on The Rock on episode 15 of Confessions of the Hitman.
By the way, how did that work out for them? Sure line. Go ahead.
His name is Stevie Richards.
Not me. Among many other things, Hart talked about bullying The Rock and enduring the hands of the Clique. according to Hart, a lot of jealous pro wrestlers tried to break The Rock and get him to quit pro wrestling business. And he and his brother Owen often went to bat for The Rock. A lot of the wrestlers would give him a hard time in those days, a really hard time, enough to break him and to get him to quit. And they almost succeeded. And I can remember him going to bat for Dwayne quite a few times and kind of looking out for him. Owen too. I think Owen and I had a lot to do with sort of looking out for him when he first came down. The Rock was kind of a marked guy. The Rock, who had recently had some advice for WWE superstar Roman Reigns, had a backstage problem with the same people who were involved in the Montreal screw job. So the excellence of execution divulged that he had no qualms in supporting the great one against the Clique. He said, quote, "I don't know why he had such a hard time being accepted by more of the jerk-like wrestlers. A lot of the same guys who had a problem with The Rock were the same guys who were all involved in the screw job with me. So I had about the same dislike for the petty bullshit these guys were all about." According to one story from Hart, Shawn Michaels once chewed out The Rock backstage for doing a drop kick off the top rope. Hart recalled that The Rock was apologetic, but as soon as the locker room door closed, the hitman told The Rock that HBK's antics were bullshit because a drop kick off the top rope is no one's signature move, and he pointed out that Owen did a top rope drop kick all the time, and Michaels never said anything about it. He said, quote, "I remember Shawn coming up into the dressing room and dressing down poor Dwayne. Shawn came in and dressed him down and he chewed him out. And I believe that HBK told The Rock to never do a top rope drop kick again, ever, because that was his move. That's what he was mad about. And then he slammed the door and walked out. The Rock was deflated because in those days, Shawn had a lot of weight. He was pretty much a pretty important guy for the company, a veteran guy, and dressing him down like that, he was apologizing, said he didn't know, and that he thought it'd be okay. Then says the bullshit thing. Triple H was the same. He would always go out to get The Rock. Shawn was out to get him, and they were just worked on him and worked on him and worked on him. And I left. The Rock was still in the doghouse with those guys, and they wanted him to be out as bad as they wanted me out, like they were after him. And for me, maybe a year later, he started getting his break and starting getting to take off in WWE. So I'm so glad he overcame their petty bullshit. It's just jealousy out of nowhere, just jealousy and distinctly jealousy. Seeing someone that is nice, a nice kid climbing the ladder bothered someone like Shawn Michaels or bothered Triple H so much they couldn't see past it. They worked on him and worked on him. It was pretty clear to me it was only a matter of time. They came in and made those types of scenes. They did it a few times, but I had a lot of clout at that time. It goes on putting himself over. Yeah, dude, are you shocked by this?
No, not a little bit, because Rock was a nice guy and they were just trying to get him to quit. If you two are that talented, if you're that talented in any sport or anything that you do, especially wrestling, why do you have to try to not see? You did. It's obvious he had a lot of talent and he had a lot of potential, and they were trying to get him to quit before he realized it. Thank God he did, because now he's the biggest movie star in the world. He bought the XFL. And every move he makes, don't think people like Hunter. I don't know about Shawn with his newfound beliefs from years past, but don't think Hunter is not looking at the fact that he's cashing in on stocks and making millions every quarter right before the conference call, or any of the other things are happening, or running NXT and has people who idolize him on that roster and look at him as a father figure. Mm-hmm. He's looking out of the side of his eye, as wrestlers do, and saying, yeah, Rock bought XFL. Fuck that guy.
Yep.
And maybe there's a little bit of Rock that bought the XFL to put the fuck you on WWE.
He's got the money.
No doubt, because you don't think, if I knew it was available for $15 million, I'd be calling John McAfee. I'd be calling somebody and be like, I want you to invest in this and buy it. I'll be the head of it. Ben will be there marketing this and that. And we have just to say, like, for Vince to sit there going, who the fuck bought the XFL for 1/30th of what I paid for, or whatever? No, that would be worth everything to me. I'm not very vindictive, but $15 million to Rock could have just, I got that on this card, but he had a group invest in it. So he didn't even buy it he might have paid $3 million out of the 15.
He might not have paid anything. It might just be his name on it, and he had him go and do that, and he's the one to talk on it, where they build the small LLC, so he's the head.
He has sort of sweat equity with his name put into it. He's vested that way. So $0 to be the head of the XFL, and Vince is looking at that. Dude, every day a guy like Vince, and especially a guy like Hunter, will look at that and be so jealous and envious and hateful Because look at the story you just told. You don't think now, dude, that is karma. That has to be that story that you just said and him buying the XFL have to be directly connected.
I can't see how it wouldn't be. The only problem is they've got a very similar situation to Rey Mysterio. Not that Rey's as big as The Rock, but his son's there, but his daughter's there too. So they're going to be, they know they got that little bit, but at the same time, they can't fuck with her because The Rock's got that fucking weight that he can come down on them even harder. But they know they're playing these dangerous games with second generation talent, and how hard are they going to push them, you know? And like, guys' behaviors usually don't change except for when they go from like maybe 16 to like age 30 when you become a man. But the behaviors that Shawn and Triple H have had long supersede that, and usually you don't change your pattern of behavior, vindictiveness, jealousy. It only gets worse as you become more demented and older and reinforced and bitter and don't give a fuck. You might have the worker face, but the reality of who you are and how you deal with things isn't going to change, right, Stevie?
Right. And I'll tell you this, they said The Rock's daughter is going to be working for Triple H and NXT now. Yeah, they could hold that over him, but guess what Rock could do? Rock could get in front of the camera like I am and try to use a Camlink 4K so his beautiful eyes and his nicer tan than mine shows through, and say, I think it's time for a union in professional wrestling. he holds that nuclear bomb over them and say, yeah, you fuck with my daughter and I will be the face of, I changed now the XFL. I will change pro wrestling. You don't think anybody in Congress or other places, if The Rock turns around and says, I think there should be a union in pro wrestling because the WWE is taking advantage of too many people and my daughter's there and I want my daughter to have the same rights as every other person that belongs to a union. The first thing he would do, start a players union in the XFL as a warning shot, and then turn around and say, I wouldn't be careful. If somebody said, be careful, Rock, I'd say, be careful, WWE. Yeah.
And could it go the way things are headed in WWE? Could The Rock buy that out too with an investment group for pennies on the fucking dollar?
That's a good point. You don't think Disney would want to be connected with The Rock?
Say Fox pulls their deal. Boom, there goes half your value in one day. Stock's crushed. Rock comes in, fucking picks up X amount. You're talking hostile takeover type shit.
Well, and don't forget that, you know, there's a lot of business connections here that people don't know. Disney owns Marvel. The Rock is the face of the Black Adam movie, the new Captain Marvel movie phase. I think they're in phase 4, phase 5 of Marvel. He's going to be possibly the biggest star in the next phase of the Marvel movies. So Disney's been rumored to maybe buy WWE. You don't think Rock would be an integral part of that?
Easy enough, right? And that could be the one thing to really relaunch wrestling, him being the Vince McMahon at the helm of it. That'd be crazy, dude. A lot of interesting possibilities as we see Planet X move closer and the stars align.
Black Adam is DC. I'm sorry, DC. I'm sorry. That's right.
Dude,
you got me. Chubby Pop Chaser. That's right in his wheelhouse. Listen, Rock could buy Marvel. How's that? We're just giving him all the credit.
Yeah. Bottom line, no one gives a fuck about difference between Marvel and DC.
Give a fuck about anything but Batman and DC anyway. So there.
Well,
your beard.
Women's news, or do we go through that? Quick one. Cody Rhodes request for Bash at the Beach trademark reconsideration denied. In June, Cody requested the USPTO to reconsider, claiming that one of the terms, such as wrestling and fight, shared multiple trademarks with the wrestling landscape. But they wrote back. The argument said, oh, well, this is the whole argument. But it has been denied, so they are not going to get Bash at the Beach back, as he tried to F over WWE. So chances are he's not getting his last name back either.
Why would they sit on righttocensor.com? That was an interesting thing that made less sense than the Bash at the Beach. At least you can try to get that for a name of a pay-per-view. I understand that.
You think it's them, or it's just a mark who bought Right to Censor and has it redirected to AEW?
It could be. I mean, we could have people in our little underground group try to see who filed for that.
IPs and all that. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just interested just to be interested because of all the things, like not trying to go the attitudeera.com or something more broad reaching for WWE. It's very strange. But, I got a few subscribers on YouTube from it.
Either way. Speaking of YouTube, this fucking asshole, Logan Paul, calls out influencers to face him in a wrestling match. Popular YouTube sensation Logan Paul is seemingly interested in stepping in the ring, has called out other influencers for a wrestling match. Logan randomly took to Twitter stating 10 grand to any influencer who can beat me in a wrestling match. And then the internet wrestling world sold for it. I did too. I'm not in a retweet, just put my pro wrestling tees thing in the thread. Figure I'll take the fucking free fucking advertising. Why not, man? But this fucking touch hole, I beat the tits off him in 2 minutes, but he's looking for an influencer. You're an influencer. I feel like I have some influence, but he really don't want it with Hove. He wants it with some other unboxing makeup soy boy that they can go in and do slap fights with for a celebrity boxing thing that they can probably stream live. So he don't really want it with anybody who can give it to him. That's for sure.
All right, kid RJ City, one of the guys in your group posted a screenshot of his tweet, which was the best one. He goes, you don't understand how this works. You pay me $10,000 beforehand and I'll be happy to lose to you.
That's good. I mean, that dude is right on the cusp of great satire all the time. RJ City. I enjoy his fucking digs on the entire industry. The Sheets put over hard ego Ethan Page, who would be good. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the biz right now, especially on Impact, what he's been doing and getting in great shape. But like the Sheets were about, it's ego Ethan Page. He's going to be like, what are you fucking talking about? New Jack sold, so I'll kill this motherfucking white boy. And, everybody did to get their shit in on him. So as a YouTube, dude from the outside of wrestling with everybody sitting at home who has Twitter thumbs and can't stay off of fucking social media and their egos are so soft, sold for this fucking guy out of nowhere and made him, you know what I mean, into a whole nother realm in one afternoon. Didn't have to fucking pay a dime for the tweet.
Yeah, and what's it going to end up being? Does he want it to be an amateur wrestling match, or he wants to get into the pro wrestling thing? Hey, who should step up? McAfee and destroy this guy.
That wouldn't be bad. I figure it'll end up being Tony Khan giving him the stunner, though.
Yeah, well, that's post show. That's after he comes out and he goes, "Come on, guys, come on back."
Last night they fucked up. I was watching the Fight TV boosted stream, but something with Guevara, they give him like a 15-second cue and he's doing the sign thing, you know what I mean, for Matt Hardy. And then they say, so he does it and hits the 15. He goes, "No, man, we got a whole nother minute." He goes, "You just told me 15. All the signs are on the floor. So he's like stunting. Then he's ripping sign. I don't know if that was live on air or not, but they fucked up the cue that way too. Like production wise, things just seem not all on.
Wait a minute. They told him, you could hear them telling him we got another minute. And he complained. He didn't just.
He's like smiling. He's like, "You just told me 15 seconds." And he's like, "You want the signs?" Like, "Yeah, give me the signs." And he starts tearing them up. You're like,
are you? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
As a performer, it's like nobody can do their job around here. Give me that camera and then just grab the TV. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't count me down. I'll take 5 minutes if I want. You make it seem like they're trying to rush you.
Yeah.
And
that's what I did when I did stand up and they give me the light to take it home. I go, "You don't shine that light on me, asshole. I'll put a light on you, one red dot, and you'll never shine that light on anybody again." They want it to be like most comedians will see it and they'll be like, "Yeah, I gotcha. I'm going to take it home." And that's like, "Oh, look at me. I'm a pro. I saw your signal." Fuck that. I'm going to point it right out at it, and get my heat on them. You know what I mean? As a heel.
I love being counted down because I know I got 30 seconds and I can cut a promo if I don't have anything on the person. Don't count the old Austin thing. Don't count me down and beat the fucking guy up.
Yeah.
That was the best.
You don't go anywhere. I tell you when to go.
They got Tony Khan. They got Tony Khan backstage. They were showing him. Why is this guy lurking around like Alfred Hitchcock? What the fuck is going on here?
You know what it is, bro. Who runs this business? You know which one. I don't gotta say it. Goldberg calls Roman Reigns a joke when defending his pre-match rituals. It's well known that Goldberg tends to headbutt the door and to hype himself up prior to the match.
Soda machines too.
With American Monster Productions YouTube channel, Goldberg responded. Sorry, say that again, Stevie.
No, soda machines. We've witnessed soda machines. There's no, Coke, Pepsi. It doesn't matter. He's not brand specific.
Says, Roman, you're a joke. First of all, Roman, you're a joke, first of all. Second of all, when he ragged on me about headbutting the doors and stuff, I never really explained my whole thought process on that, Goldberg said. For you guys to get in character that you got, I had to do certain things. Well, one of them was the headbutt a door, right? And that may, on the outside, looks like a stupid move. But as I mentioned, we all weigh the positives and negatives. So very positive to make it as violent as humanly possible and as real as humanly possible. And all the negative is you lose a little blood, and hey, man, you get another concussion and a cut off a week of your life. What the fuck?
Oh, thank God you're a little wrestling a limited schedule because what in the world, dude? I know what he's trying to say in a way until that last part.
Oh, will you fucking stop?
That's what I say to him, bro. Dude, it's just another concussion and a week off your life. Well, how many times have you done it since 2000 or 1998 and now? How many weeks off your life is that total?
Oh, let's say 1997, because that's when he was really having his run. So it was
right.
an hour near, and then your football career before that, and then your college career before that, where you headbutting doors before going out to play football. It's taking a week off your life, taking 5 years off your life or 10 years off your life, especially. Let's back up a second. Taking a week off your life when you have a kid that you want to spend every waking moment with.
Yeah.
And you want to be there for. That's the least of it. But let's not forget that you could start seeing dementia and Alzheimer's and CTE or whatever other things to where the last 10 years of your life are unrecognizable. Maybe 20. Mike Webster died at 50 years old and he looked like a 90-year-old man. You're in your 50s. I you know what? I know Bill personally off and on throughout the years when I was in WCW, WWE. Nice enough guy, but that is not a very responsible thing to say for you or the family that probably worries about you when you do that.
You really showed Roman Reigns with that one.
Do you think Roman Reigns is like just shaking his head? Like, what in the world?
Yeah, point proven, I guess, Strange, dude. People can't take criticism of things they do that seem like a testosterone hyped up college football, go Bulldogs thing. Where workers go, yeah, smart, bro. Yeah, looking good, Briz. And then dudes can't take it. Like, you know what? It was stupid for me to smash my skull into things for fucking 30 years to think that was going to make me macho, but I still have to stand up for it. Oh, okay. That's my problem.
Do you think he's going to end up in AEW? When he smashes his head on the door, there's Tony Khan in the background.
Yeah, smash it.
He's retribution. He's going to go.
Oh shit. 4 more to go. Let's see. Is it? Yeah. Oh no.
I checked the one about Rollins.
The one about Rollins. Well, yeah. On that. Where the fuck my phone go? See shit. That was off Instagram, right?
Yeah, Mike Panetta, he's a brand subscriber. He loves Master Street Theater, and I think he listens to our shows too. Sent that to me on Instagram.
While speaking of the Gorilla podcast, Seth Rollins stated the current day fans don't have the patience for long-term storytelling. Said, quote, in an age of instant gratification, audience don't have the patience for long-term storytelling. Do you agree with Seth? No, I don't agree with Seth. I think Seth is not capable of doing character to the fullest because they have him switching all the time and just hasn't doesn't have the reps in or the coaching to make him really believe in his characters, you know what I mean, and go all in on it and do commitment to the bit that needs to be done. And he's been switched so many times. How would he know what long-term business is when you go from CrossFit Jesus to the King Slayer to the Beast Slayer to the Architect to Iowa's Own to Fruit of the Loom Boner Champion to the Messiah to David Miscavige to the Mafia Dark Hand to the man's man husband. Am I missing anything in here? Like, you know, like all of these things are just, with AOP and the Shield. Like these are all the switches he had. Show me long-term business where it isn't anything but a quick hype and Triple H light, let's steal the spotlight of a gimmick. And to argue that even point, when you find something on Netflix or Amazon Prime that you love because it does long-term business, you binge it, not because you just want to get it in quick and consume the media. It's you're interested in something and it's must see to go on to the next episode. So you want to see long-term business, which might be 13 hours of it. How I consume it and in the timeline doesn't make it different in long-term business. They're spreading out the storyline over X amount of episodes, and you guys shotgun shit or start shit 3 months in is when we're going to do the Messiah entrance for the first time. And we don't even have set pieces built. It's the fact that they're not into your shit because it's only half-assed done. So it's not long-term business. It's lazy workmanship and production and delivery that keeps people not interested in it.
We live in a really strange time, and I don't mean that in a good way at all when it comes to entertainment or when it comes to, well, I would say no, I would just say wrestling, because Fox is always canceling shows like Gotham that are gaining popularity as they go on and have a rabid fan base and had better ratings than WWE currently does on Fox. And for Seth to say that, see, I don't understand when it changed. Like, say our business models, our listenership, or say people stop buying my programs, or people, you know, don't complain, but they stop buying them, and I haven't sold one in like 3 months. What am I doing wrong? I'm not going to turn around and say, what the fuck is wrong with these people not buying my programs? Stupid people don't know how to work out. Stupid people don't know how to do this or that. If people stop listening, if your downloads weekly went cut in half, are you going to go, well, fuck these people, they don't understand that we're putting out a good product? You're going to say, well, okay, well, what did we record when this dropped? What did we do? And we need to stop doing that because people didn't like when we started having this every single show, or when we added this show, or maybe we took a show away. We took something that they really liked and they said, well, I used to always listen to that, and that accounted for half our audience. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do? We're going to take action to get those half back and try to get even more. Instead of blaming the fans, you're blaming you're saying our stuff is good. The ratings are wrong. The people who aren't tuning in, they're wrong. So they don't like it. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, cliffhanger. Rinse, repeat. What's the Umbrella Academy? I just talked about that. Every single one of the episodes, even though we binge watched it, now we can't wait for season 3. We're talking about it. We're trying. That's a whole thing too. You talking about binge watching. Binge watching is for Netflix with The Punisher, Daredevil. I'm naming a bunch of different shows, which, by the way, they all got canceled, which they were very popular. Why would you cancel them? Umbrella Academy, The Boys on Amazon. Every single one of those shows are binge upload was in our one that you and Sal told me about. Mm-hmm. We binge watched them because we could not wait to see what happens in the next episode. Mm-hmm. It was still the cliffhanger. And I'll tell you what, they would probably be smart to release those episodically because more people would talk all week. Oh man, upload's coming. It's Monday at 8:00, or I'll watch it the next day, Tuesday, because I don't want to, or I'll save it and then watch 2 or 3 in a row just so you don't feel deprived.
Yep.
That's not what they're doing in WWE. That's not what they're doing in AEW. That is what they're kind of doing in Impact, but nobody's watching it.
Raw
so it's such an inverse.
Raw Underground could have been 6 episodes before anybody ever threw a punch, before we ever even got to the factory to where they're fighting. Like, the whole thing could have been, what is Raw Underground that we keep hearing about and fabing and wanting to get in? You know what I mean? The exclusive
4 weeks of the 4 weeks of the concept, another 4 weeks of fighter bios and showing them fighting and getting to know the fighters. 8 weeks, maybe 12 before you even have the first fight.
Mhm.
And then it's not the third hour. Maybe it's just the last segment of the show that's special. We bought the last segment, the last 15 minutes of Raw. We bought it. That's what it needed to be. Shane buying a piece of the show to feature this.
Yep.
There's no reality in this. All you have to do is just do what Dana White does and be the guy. 3 hours is too long for Raw. That's the greed, and that's all the watch metrics that they claim they have for the time. So it's quantity, not quality. I'd say cut all the shows down to an hour, because every successful TV show that I just mentioned at the most is an hour. Some are a half hour, 44 minutes, whatever they are.
Better Call Saul, The Wire, Breaking Bad, all an hour and 6 minutes in there, or sometimes 52 minutes. They go short because you get done what you need to get done in that time. You don't just keep putting shit in, it's going to make your actual point and your storyline mean less in the flow of your show. Because we have to be here. Well, we don't have to be. We can come up with a creative way to use that 8 minutes at the end of the show in an infomercial for something else after we end our episode. We don't always have to fucking stick to these terrible formulaic things that handcuff them. WWE reportedly makes a decision on holding SummerSlam in what state, Stevie? The biggest party of the summer is going to be in Florida, right outside the Performance Center. They're doing it outside, you guys, real big outside the Performance Center. No boats, no New York City, no nothing. We're going out in the parking lot, you guys. The biggest party of the summer. After Antifa is out there smashing in windows, No,
they're gonna be right by that transformer. That's where it's gonna be. And I'll tell you what, if it's at the Performance Center, it's outside the Performance Center, it's in an industrial park. It's not where you have a whole lot of summer parties. So I don't know how they're gonna dress it up with like 4 palm trees from the secondary roof or something. Yeah. They'll probably ship those down.
God damn, you guys with the typing. So, all right, Stevie, we're down to our final 3.
Okay.
And it's women's wrestling news of the week.
Oh, thank God.
You got your choice to start with: Lana, Brandy, or Liv.
Ooh. As the ultimate, what's those 3 choice things? not read. Brandy. I'll go with Brandy since that one.
Brandy Rhodes on why she left Twitter and why the AEW tournament is airing on YouTube. The chief branding officer, Brandy Rhodes, recently spoke with Scott Fishman of TV Insider and talked about she recently deactivated her Twitter account. Fans speculated that Rhodes left Twitter because of her negative feedback to AEW's heels community for female fans. Rhodes said there are other things that need her attention right now. She said, quote, I think there are other things that right now there are other things that needed my attention. A lot more, Rhodes said of leaving Twitter. I'm focusing on heels, which Friday we had our first members-based event. It was extremely successful. It's nice to come together in a community of women that really appreciate and enjoy it. We had a really great time Friday night. It was nice to put my energy into that. My energy is also going into the Women's Tag Team Cup tournament. It has been really nice weekend to pull all of my time and energy into what I want to be focused on right now. What she wants to be focused on, not for the company. Regardless, the Heels project, Rhodes was asked about the recent fans' feedback to the project and if that affects her plans for what she wants the project to become. She talked about the last Friday's members event and how Heels is not about making money. It's not about making money. That's why they're charging $50 a fucking rip to be into it. Okay. He said, I think word of mouth on heels is going to be the best thing for it. And after the event on Friday, the word about it was positive. There was not a single person of the 200 and change people who showed up that said, I did not get what I expected or asked for. We want to keep the women excited and looking forward to different things. The plans are very much laid out for heels. We've got a course of action for the entire year. And that course of action can change a little bit as the conditions of the world improve. But
we have a plan, but guess what? That we don't really have a plan.
Yeah. I think for now, we've got plenty of events and virtual meet and greets and contests and cool things for these women, not just monthly, but weekly. It's a cool thing to talk to each other and motivate each other and share the slices of life and just have fun, which is so much of what is missing in life. These are trying times. Yep. These are trying
250 people subscribing. That's how much you're making in a year.
No, money doesn't matter. They can give it back.
Just telling you.
If heels can be the bright light at that end of the tunnel that we are for them, and we're happy to do whatever it takes to make it that. She continued. Holy shit. She's not continuing here. Dude.
I think I picked the right one. That
was a fucking breaker right there, bro. There was like 3 more paragraphs of I want, she wants for my energy. Dude, did any of that encompass for the good of AEW?
This is the chief branding officer at AEW, by the way, saying I, me, what I want, my energy,
my focus.
Well, you showed me before her focus seems to be Instagram too. And just, putting up posts about AEW as she's in a bikini or underwear or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and Mamby's
that's energy, and that's every day, by the way, that you could be figuring stuff out.
And you're closing your DMs down and you're getting mad because of dick pics. Well, not to say people can't do what they want to on there and that she's a model and does whatever, but the respect me as a woman branding officer and don't dare think sexually about me. Now here's my ass cheeks and, just a little bit of blurred out nipple that I've got there. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? You want to trigger the pseudo-sexuality of man to have dudes masturbating over you, but don't dare you judge me and look at me and sexualize me. Now, here's me in a thong.
Didn't you send me the one, which there was multiple ones of, where she's standing there in front of the bed and she's like, hey, big episode of AEW tonight, but I figured I'd send this to you guys, or there's one for you guys, right? Wasn't it the text of it? Like, here's one for you guys. Like, what do you, like you said, what message are you trying to send? They're already thinking it anyway. And you're throwing that out there. I mean, I think it's kind of, why would you under any kind of public forum, DM that kind of stuff to a married woman or anything, no matter what she's putting out there? Wrestling fans are just the worst when it comes to that.
Why are your DMs open?
Yeah, I mean, why your Instagram story, like my Instagram stories, because just stupid wrestling fans here and there send stuff when I put up a story or something negative, but that took whatever, 2 seconds to do that. Are you secretly like they're teetering between, if she does that, then they're going to say, you think you're better than everybody else and all this other stuff, which her and Cody do. They come across that way, but they can't insult their bait. They're in a very tough position with that. It's wrong nonetheless to send any person something like that. I don't know why you would do. You can get in real trouble today for doing that too. That's what I mean. It's stupid. They don't see that you can go to the cops and say, hey, this person, that's almost, sexual harassment. Or it could be another crime.
Yeah. It's just in a strange entrapment of have it both ways. Respect me as a master's degree corporate CEO, but it's me, my time. And also here I am. And what do you guys think of my ass cheeks? Ooh, she's fire empowered. And it's old boy's wife. So it's not like, so now she's just being clickbait, skeet bait for fucking the tape trader, masturbator, soy boys that are their fundamental group, but they want to say stick up for Brandy, but really, you know what they're doing, buying the toys and fucking living out their little fantasies. Fucking weirdos, man.
Dude, I watched that tag match with her and the other girl, Allie, against two girls, and it was bad. That tag tournament thing.
I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked that it was a bad match. Liv Morgan on why she supports WWE Raw Underground dancers.
What? Who asked her about it?
Raw superstar Liv Morgan's not backing away from her strong opinions about the dancers being featured on Raw Underground in the new Shoot Style Fight Club segment hosted by Vince McMahon. As reported yesterday, WWE stopped featuring dancers during the segment in the aftermath of severe criticism from the likes of Alundra Blaze and Lance Storm. After Blaze questions WWE's decision to bring back half-naked women in the same breath, quote, the same breath of promoting the evolution of the equality of women, Storm agreed with former WWE Hall of Famer, if you're going to do eye candy, at least do it for everybody, hashtag equality. Storm wrote back in his response to Blaze. Liv, on the other hand, feels like that, quote, showing beautiful women proudly dancing doesn't hurt WWE's women's evolution. Quote, we've come so far in the evolution, and with no signs of slowing down, I don't think it's in any danger. Showing beautiful women proudly dancing, believe it or not, huge money is a huge money-making profession. Doesn't hurt anything. Empower all women. Liv tweeted on Tuesday evening while responding to the fan who sided with Blaze and Storm's point of view. You can go to You Only Live Once and check it out. And she puts, and plus the dancers were so nice. I say this is where we go look for our next president. Let's go down to tops and bottoms and really respect these women with the money that they earn and deserve to dance sexy and empower each other. And now let's really think about what they can do to help change this country. And you know, let's start a whole affirmative action program to get sexy, empowered dancers that dance for men's money into the corporate structure as corporate leaders. I think they've got a lot to offer. I think they have, the background to back it all up, and that, you can be whatever you want to be. If you want to shoot ping pong balls out of your twat by night and during the daytime, raise a family, and then also be a momtrepreneur. I mean, you can do it all. You can have it all, and you can be it all.
Well, you sound like a VP candidate to me. Congratulations. Biden just dumped Harris, and now you're in. You're the next black woman vice president.
I have been identifying that. I was identifying as a black female vice president long before.
Well, she is too. She is too. Hey, dude. Wait a minute. Let's explore this, though. I know we got one more that should just make my ears bleed. Mm-hmm. I'm most interested in Lance's tweet. Like, how do we set up strippers for everybody with the equality? Like, do you need what? I'm serious. Do you need male strippers next to the female ones? Do you need a trans one? Do you need women of color, men of color, minorities? Do you need an Arabian and a burqa? Do you need, dude, this could be, I'm more interested to see that on Raw, to see how that,
strippers of the world invade Raw Underground.
But that's just words, dude. Like, all right, tell us. I want to hear this plan. Like, that's interesting to me. Like, that's ridiculous. That would be right to censor inverse. Like, if right to censor would come back, like I said, Degeneration SJW makes the return. You turn the group into an SJW group, and you literally have now like 40 different strippers to represent all the 40 different genders and shit like that. You go ridiculous.
You want to go down the road. That's the road they want to start down. Let's fucking play it out. What is the end of that road? The solution of what you're saying look like? Banning women? Well, why not? Because women can't be sexual. We have to curb our gender, and you're afraid of our vaginas, Lance Storm, and you can't do that. Oh, so no. If you want to do that, it's fine. Okay, well, that's good. But now we're down that road of the Saudi stripper, the PTSD veteran stripper. How far are we going with it? How far are we gonna go? Instead of just going, we are sexual beings. We are mammals. It's in our DNA to procreate and look at other, we like that stimulus, but we know now because of some societal moral bullshit that's been pushed, you have to turn that switch off because feel bad if you get an erection. God damn it. How dare you? This is based on everything that's wrong in the world. Oh, I hate myself. Like, this is mind control. This is full mind control. And you're seeing them play right into it, dude, and fall for a marketing line, the women's evolution. Like that was a real thing. Like that was going to be anything. That is them taking Ad Age magazine, what's trendy, and putting it on WWE and making the marks and fans believe that they really give a good goddamn. They would have Charlotte out there as one of those fucking strippers if they didn't have to have her as the high level women's one. If the world had gone about empowered sexuality and we can really go topless in New York and do what they want to do, they would have her out there topless wrestling every week if that's the way the fucking weird world would have bent for women's empowerment. And don't think they wouldn't in a second.
We left out the amputee strippers and wheelchair strippers too.
Oh,
The chat room has us covered. We need to cover, dude. I think that would, you just give me a segment of just every different category of person that can be covered, so we don't offend everybody. Yeah, this is the thing. You can complain about it when you see it. But what's the solution? Don't just leave us hanging with it. I mean, Eskimo strippers. I mean, there you go.
That's the final solution that Hitler was looking for. And once we get to Eskimo
But the Liv Morgan defense, and they were nice. Like, you're I don't know, man. And then, you know what? She probably replied to somebody with 20 followers on Twitter.
Probably.
That seems to be the thing.
Had to get it in, like the supreme F you.
This is why I want to do the 80s love song. So I'm off social media even more, and I'm just my own little positive universe.
I'm not gonna weigh in fully till I find out what Liv Morgan's mom thought about it and what her point of view was.
One thing you might not know about me. You should do that clip of anytime we bring up one thing you may not know about me.
Oh, I'll get that loaded up.
What did you say? I'm a fighter.
There was so many ones about her mom and that shit. Holy fuck.
All right, here we go.
That's a good one. Severe burn victim strippers pop me. Our final story of the day, Stevie. Lana says she and Rusev had sex on the WrestleMania 31 tank. Lana took to Instagram this afternoon and claimed she had sex with her husband Rusev on the tank that he used at WrestleMania 31 entrance for the WWE United States title loss to John Cena. The Raw superstar made a post this afternoon showing the two in the Black Sea and commented on the rare occasion they've had sex at. She wrote, "We just had sex in the Black Sea and on the tank at WrestleMania," sunglasses emoji. It's interesting to note that Ryan Satin tweeted in November 2019 that Rusev apparently tried to have sex with Lana in the tank. Rusev responded and seemed to have confirmed that they did. He responded with, "Tried?" Rusev and Lana are currently on vacation in Loznets, Bulgaria. Rusev thanked his brother for the vacation and tagged his Instagram post from the Hotel Oasis del Sol, which is on the Black Sea. You can view the entire tank entrance in the WWE playlist episode, and Rusev is seen below. Yeah.
So below.
As above, so below, where he's got her double cupped, and they're standing by the Black Sea, which looks like a beautiful ocean that I wouldn't mind being in right now. On a picture with his brother. So Stevie bringing that heavy artillery to WrestleMania 31. It's classy. Respect me. Respect everything I've done. Respect my career, and
And also, it's just a whole lot of like that's just your private business. I have you put it out there, but just my thoughts on the way my marriage is, and even the things we talk about as friends and stuff. We don't need to go out there and let everybody know that we're friends, or I don't have to let everybody know that my wife and I are married and we do. I don't know. It just seems like, I know I seem like a super Christian or a super traditionalist saying that the sanctity of that union should be one that you keep close to yourself. There's some things that you just need to just keep to yourself. And she still works for the WWE. You don't think that she's going to have any heat for saying that? Or maybe the tank company will turn around and be like, oh, okay, well, we're suing you for having sex in our tank or anything like that. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. Anybody can do anything at this point.
William Alcia did report that there are possible releases coming up, her name being on it to finish out the contract, where she'll just do small little things and be marginalized and phased out this week. And Nia Jax brought back to TV as a test to see if she hurts anybody else. Japanese. Then she's pretty much too. And yeah. But then they're like, but she's excited to go to Hollywood because The Rock can hook her up. Like, do you see anything in her performances that is Hollywood worthy?
I'd make her one of the strippers.
That's what we're saying. We got Nia Jax stripper. That's what it is.
Listen, here's the thing with that though. Isn't it? I've been in that spot, by the way. I've been in that spot with the Heidenreichs and the other people. Let's see if he hurts Stevie a third time or a fourth time. Let's see if this guy hurts him. Chris Masters, let's give him another match and see if Chris will hurt him again. Why would you put another talent in harm's way? Let's see if she'll hurt Kairi Sane again. Let's just see if she'll do it. Let's see if that was just a fluke. You know, if somebody is dangerous and can't work or they're sloppy or out of shape or all of the above, that's that little non-empathetic little Machiavellian type shit. Well, let's see if it happens again. Then we can, not only will someone get hurt, but we can fire her too. Give me a break, man. Do you think anybody, like, if you keep sacking a quarterback during fucking training camp with the red shirt on, do you think the coach is going to keep you around? He sacked him 3 times in the game during practice when he clearly saw the red shirt. Let's see if he does it again. You know, no, you're gone. There's certain rules you just can't break. When did it ever, well, how come it went from, and I hate to sound like an old guy, but it went from, hey man, we got to do this every day of the week. Let's like make sure nobody gets hurt. I got to feed my family. I got to do this 5 or 7 days a week. Now it's like, let's get every angle we can in the show. And by the way, get all our shit in. And if you can't take it, then so what? You won't be here next week because you're hurt.
Yeah, or written off or ribbed. I mean, we're still seeing the same thing with ribs being written in on Mandy Rose and, all that kind of shit, dude. So I think she might not be long for the locker room based on being tested. And then they brought her back. She's off TV again. There's nothing really going on. I think her as one of the dancers, though, is something she would probably really enjoy on Raw Underground.
Y'all are you pussy. Y'all are you piece of crap. Y'all are you moron. You think you can laugh me off and get away with it? Expect my reply on Sunday, you piece of crap. You fat shit. You moron. You infidel.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I don't know, Stevie. Sunday, something might be coming our way. Who knows? Maybe she could do some commercials where, she's testing out 2-quarter-ton Chevy trucks or something like that. Strong enough to tow, and she's in the back TikToking or something. Who knows? But yeah, man, we made it. We made it through another news cycle, Stevie. Not necessarily unscathed, but we'll see what happens this week. I don't look forward to anything on SmackDown as they are going to take this retribution angle and do something even more foolish than what we saw this week with it.
I don't even know if it's going to even continue. We always have the thing that when we tune in, which by the way, I remind everybody we don't choose to. It could be gone. They can snap out of a finger. Raw Underground could be done, and the retribution angle could be over with.
Easily could be, based off of what could even just happen with George Soros Antifa. Could be controversial, much like Muhammad Hassan in the London bombing that took him off of TV, right? What if they pull some trigger and now here they are with their own little Antifa thing, and people are like, ooh, and it's gone that quickly. Not just because of that, because of the failure of it, but it could be a variety of reasons where they tried to make a quick buck to turn things around and get 100,000 people back. But I
already have a way to get out of that like to get another group over on the show, but I'm not going to say it. They're going to have to pay for that one.
Okay.
Not our audience. I'm talking about if
Mm.
WWE, because we already have the idea. I know you and I and Russo could already think of the idea of getting him out of it.
Yeah.
And getting someone else over.
So sent me that on them. I'm sure we'll probably spin it out too on the Raw and SmackDown review on Russo's brand. So if you guys haven't subscribed over there, and people are saying this week, best master shoot theater ever. A lot of spit takes while people are driving. Don't drink and master shoot. Drive and master shoot. You're gonna spit coffee over your fucking car. I'm telling you. So if you haven't subscribed, $3 at Russo TWC on Patreon. You guys had a lot of fun. Like I say, it's the highlight of my weekend to improvise with Vince and Stevie and just say strange things that are actually the truths. So we're going to keep producing content for you guys all weekend long. I'll be back here in just 50 minutes with the Chris Silvio, hopefully, and MSG to do AEW Light the Fuse. I'm going to go let the Dogs of War out and let some Broasters Coffee out myself, and hopefully be back right around 11. So if you're looking for more content in the AEW review, plenty to talk on that. And then I'll be back for Friday Night SmackDown Live Self-Help Group. DJ Culture Vulture will be in the house. Who knows what we'll be spinning, but it'll be Friday night, so we'll have a little booze together and get through that 2 hours and have some fun, man, and just keep producing as much as we can and making sure we stay creative and busy, and just waiting for that 203 call to get down there so I can be the Saudi stripper is what I'm looking for. I think we got a shot. Hopefully our stripper poles are close to each other so we can hang out and talk in between.
Very nice. I mean, the real message is hope at the end of the show. That's all we're trying to provide. Hope, and that's about it. I'll pitch my stuff now. StevieRichardsFitness.com. 12 and 16 week resistance band training program. If you don't buy it, there's something wrong with you. I'll take the WWE approach. How's that? I really appreciate everybody. I know Big Ray had some nice words to say on his live Facebook thing. I appreciate that. He did all the work. He says I helped him out a lot, but he did all the work. Also, ForceUSA.com. The code is Stevie and the number 5. People have been using that affiliate code. I really do appreciate it. It helps us support our brand so we can reinvest every single dime back into it, which is what you and I always try to do. And also the YouTube channel has over 62,000 subscribers. Very disappointing Mission 66 box from Battle Box, but hopefully it'll give opportunity for that and other boxes that I plan on reaching out to try to compare them. I actually did a Star Wars thing on the thumbnail where I had the Emperor and Boba Fett, and I said Battle Box review, exit code or execute order 66, because that's the meme right now that people are canceling that subscription. So just trying to provide different content, but more fitness stuff is coming, including possibly we're trying to get together the beginner yoga video series, 3 videos that we're going to sell on StevieRichardsFitness.com. Still affordable, lifetime access, full follow-on workout videos along with a PDF, and we'll make it affordable for everybody. I just want the right setting and want to be able to put it together the right way.
Couple of other plugs we missed last night. I felt bad. Got to give a shout to Theory Girl. Obviously, Lisa Torch, a huge supporter of Hami Media Group, Stevie Richards Fitness. She's got a new vegan book out called Nash Vegan. You guys, you can.
There's a newer one, Fit Vegan Kitchen too. There's 2 of them.
Awesome.
Sorry.
And they're very affordable, $5 downloads, right to your phone, all digital, awesome graphics. The wives made the zucchini bread and muffins. Boom, they were banging, dude. Like I was loving it for breakfast before they left on their vacation.
And just to tell you, the new one, the Fit Vegan Kitchen, is available on Amazon for 99 cents.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the Nash Vegan one is like 64, 65 pages. This is a little bit of a smaller cookbook, but you're talking about 2 cookbooks for $6.
Yeah.
The download, that's a really good deal.
Absolutely. And she is proof positive with Stevie Richards Fitness and her own dieting and meal prep stuff. And obviously a huge supporter of what we do. So shout out to Theory Girl, Lisa Torch. If you guys can support her, or you got wives as well who are trying to switch things up like mine always are, this is a easy way and affordable way to give them an alternative and support somebody who's a Hameen Media Group, affiliate. Absolutely. So shout out to Theory Girl and producing something and putting it out there, following her passion. That's awesome too. So another big payoff of yes, you can, whatever it is you want to do, take a step in that direction today, and take a step in the direction of Tech Meme Podcast, The Ride Home, Brian McCullough's podcast, all about technology links, everything from Silicon Valley's hottest news, even that weirdo Mark Zuckerberg when he needs something to listen to and see what's going on in the tech world as he's taking over the planet. He listens to Brian McCullough's Tech Meme Ride Home podcast. They're sponsoring this spot. And as you heard in the up top pre-roll, you guys, it's 25-minute podcast covering everything. I'm sure all the Elon Musk news, I saw some crazy stuff there, dude, with him and the military industrial complex, him just getting more and more SpaceX contracts. I wouldn't doubt if him and Bezos are battling for world's richest man by the end of this year. So if you're looking for investment kind of tips in the technology sector, that, you might get some tipped off to some early things in movement that way from Tech Meme Ride Home podcast, guys. We appreciate them, and give them a follow and let them know that Hameen Media Group sent you there so we can continue to do good business. I got that off of podcorn.com. If you're a podcaster, that's the place for to hook up with great investors like this who want that exposure to a loyal podcast audience like we have at Hameen Media Group, 2 million downloads. So you guys are keeping it locked here. There's a new 2CW podcast out with me. I'll have that on my YouTube. New Crossfire Wrestling t-shirt promo up on my YouTube right now that we put out. Prieston put together a funny infomercial, and it came out just how I imagined it. So y'all, if you want to get that official Crossfire Ben Hameen shirt exclusive, I'll get some worthless Canadian money that I can burn on camera on that. So we're having a good time here. You guys keep it locked. Twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman. If you're a subscriber or bought those subs, we really appreciate that. So you're getting the signal flares that goes off, and we're crossing over all brands. YouTube, Hacker Hameen, Stevie Cool. We're doing it. It's a Friday Veteran Locker Room, infidels. Go have sex on a tank if you got one. Yalla.